Welcome back to Eye in the Sky Media, where we elevate real stories, real people, and real conversations. I'm your host, Quan Boleg, and today's guest is someone who truly lives what he speaks. Wade Loatman is a community leader, business owner, family man, and someone I've had the honor of calling a friend over the last 2 decades. Back in the 90s. It was back in the 90s that I knew of you. But as far as becoming friends and acquaintance, it's been over the last, I would say, 5-6 years. From organizing Millville's 4 Fridays at Buck Park to expanding impact into Bridgeton, running his own business, Bully Pest Management, and showing up for the community in ways that don't always make headlines. Wade is a man of quiet consistency and bold conversation. All right, today we're going to talk about growth, the power of presence, and the importance of being willing to sit in uncomfortable truths, whether it's encouraging others to lead, supporting grassroots movements, or simply checking on someone's mother during a hard time. This episode is all about leadership, what leadership really looks like off camera. All right, so we're about to get into it here with my man Wade Loatman out on Maurice River, fishing, and just about to have, a chop-up session, and let's talk life. So you can go ahead and reintroduce yourself.
Well, I think you did a pretty good intro right there. Wade Loatman, I'm just a simple guy, raising a family of all girls, out here fishing, enjoying this weather, this talk, and just enjoying life.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So let's start with current events. So Wade, how long have you been doing Millville's 4 Friday?
Well, we started that back in 2021. I think that was when you was running for city commission. 4 years ago.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And Wade is a cool, laid-back guy. I remember getting a phone call, and Wade is one that's willing to reach out to people who he thinks has potential to take on positions of leadership. He hit me up and suggested that I run for city commission, which was very new to me, as I don't know anything about politics. But him seeing me active with my nonprofit, the Youth Love Movement, and also with the Holly City Youth Football League, he felt the need to hit me up and suggest that, I go ahead and try to get my feet wet in politics. So, Wade, how long have you been, tapped in with city politics?
Jeez. Probably over the last 10 years. You know what, honestly, I've been doing, politics has been in me since I was a kid. My grandma used to have us going out doing canvassing, So she always said, y'all better come on out, make this $50 or $125, whatever it was back in the day. It was a whole lot more than what they doing now. But so ever since we was a kid, we was always active, trying to get people out to vote. But being more meaningful, over the last 10 years, I got involved, started doing some canvassing, running some street teams, getting a group of people together, run some street teams, then get on the steering committee for the county Democratic Committee. And after that, I've been blessed to be in position to put other people in position. Like you said, having you and you release being able to run for city commission, that was a blessing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's one thing that I think is important. It's seldom that, as far as my generation, Wade is not that much older than me, but he's still older than me. I don't know. I think he probably got like 5 or 6 years on me.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. But I think that it's important for our older generation to reach back and try to encourage, the youngers that are coming up to get active. But Wade not only encouraged me to come out, he also showed up to things that I had going on, which I think is important, because one of the things I've seen Wade over the last couple of years with being active in the community is a lot of infighting. What's your take on that, the infighting? What causes the infighting, in your opinion?
As far as infighting, what you mean?
Far as like we have a lot of community members, and it's not a lot of us, who are active, quote unquote, but there's a resistance to collaborate, support, and just, work with each other, edify somebody else who's also out there trying to do good works. So I consider it infight.
Well, I mean, I don't know what you know what I mean, what the real problem is, but as far as what I say, you know what I mean, it's just pride. People need to learn to humble themselves and know what they're doing, and realize that if they're doing work for the community, it's for the community and not for themselves. And you know, and like you said, if we all working together, it's all, I mean, if we all pose to work together for our community, let's all put our pride together to the side and just come out and, you know what I mean, and support each other. Whether you don't like it or not, you know what I mean, you know, it's for the community. That's the big picture right there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Keeping the big picture at heart. So I did wear this hat purposely. Wade had.
I didn't even notice that. Yeah.
Yes, I wore this hat purposely because even, you know, in the midst of Wade already doing what he did year in and year out prior to me running for city commission, at the time he thought it still was important to bring more people on board, and to all of us to rub our minds and dimes and resources together and really get active as, you know, as in the black community. It's seldom that black men get together, you know, for the betterment of the community. So Wade suggested that we start the Millville Black Leadership Group, which didn't take off. I mean, we started it off, but things fell apart quickly. Remember that?
Yeah. It was a beautiful thing.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? And things that, you know what I mean, consistency. That's one thing, you know what I mean, when you serve in the community, that's what we need is consistency. Because we can't get involved with the community and then, you know, even though we have our own life issues and our own life problems, you know what I mean, if we dedicate our life to serve the community, we have to be consistent, because then people, they're going to be looking for us or looking for our help at some point, and if we're not there for them, then, you know, it doesn't work. So the Millville Black Leadership Community, Black Leadership Group, you know what I mean, I really enjoyed being a part of that. And my whole take on it was, you know, bringing black culture and black heritage to Millville, because we don't, you know what I mean, we don't have heritage over in Millville. There's no history in Millville. There is history, but, you know what I mean, very little, and people don't even know about it. Just like the Bethel AME, that church is over 100 years old over there, and people don't even know that, you know what I mean, who the people that started it, you know what I mean. Well, his great grandson is still out here. He's still alive, and his dad used to be a judge in Millville. So a lot of people thought Judge Witcher was the first black judge in Millville. Nah, there was another judge, Judge Lewis. He was the first black judge in Millville. So we have history out here, but you know what I mean, we have very little heritage out here. Because if you look at it, you know what Millville is known for.
Right.
So we was just trying to change the dynamics, because now you see I mean, Millville is a black and brown town. And pretty soon it's going to be like Bristol, it's going to be a brown and black town. So we have to do something to start setting, you know what I mean, culture and heritage around here for our kids and our youth.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So with that said, I want to talk about like balance. I think is important. You know, like I see right now, Wade, while we're out here doing our interview and fishing, he has this little girl with him. I think it's important that when we are doing community activism, that it should be an extension of our home. You know, the love or the support that we have in our home. You know, we should, once we have that under control, it should be extended to the greater community. Let's talk about that. Wade, how's it, you know, because you say you have all girls. How is it challenging navigating that, like, you know, doing community work as well as running a business and, you know, home life?
Nah, because once you're walking in alignment with God's plan that He has for you, you know what I mean, everything falls in place. God has the doors already open for you. You just have to learn to humble yourself again, sit back and let Him let yourself be a vessel for God's work.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And God's work, man. Again, man, A Heart of Gold, my nonprofit, the Youth Love Movement. When we were doing, we were more active during COVID. you know, when it was shelter in place, and we had some programming going on, and Wade came through, not only with his family, but he also dropped off, you know, a nice donation, which I appreciated. I didn't even know that he did it so, you know, nonchalantly. Gave me a hug and gave me an envelope. When I got home, I opened it, and you know, it was a nice donation. I appreciate that. And outside of that too, man, just, you know, just acts of kindness. When my mom during that time was battling COVID up in Philadelphia, you know, and I was going through a lot, trying to manage home life, work, and running for city commission. You know, it was a troubling time for me, and you know, it was something that I appreciate, bro, that I won't forget, man. Wade reached out to check on my mom periodically, and he was able to drop off, you know, a nice gift for her to encourage her. So I appreciate that, bro.
You know, I appreciate that. You know, I'm a firm believer, and we don't count favors. And I mean, we do something for the heart, and we never speak on it again. But you know what I mean? So I just appreciate you. You know what I mean? What you said, but you ain't never got.
We got action.
You ain't never got to bring that to nobody else's attention.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think we got fish on.
You got something on.
Let's see what he got.
A nice little bit of weight. Get out your way.
Yeah.
We might got a striper here. We got us a striper. Oh, catfish.
Catfish.
Nice little
Yeah,
catfish.
let's put them on screen. The first,
this is what we do.
The first catch of the day.
Thought it was a striper, but you know.
Yes. Oh.
Yeah, they out here jumping. Yeah, it's big. You want to hold it?
Yeah.
You want this crown?
No.
Probably. It's water in that, what you call it? You can throw it in there. My aunt might want it.
Is it gonna open its
I usually just like to fight. I like to fight those catfish. I don't really mess with them, bro. I like the channels, though. I don't like the bullheads. They look crazy.
Sit in that mode.
Yeah, brother. Bloodsucker.
You ain't got no pliers, do you?
Yeah, one second. Oh, I got the hook release. You swallowed it?
Nah, he ain't swallowed it. It's just right here.
Oh, I got pliers.
Just need something to get some leverage on it.
The bullets.
Yeah.
Swallow it.
Now you broke the hook. So you want it?
Yeah, you can put it right under here. We back after the first catch. Yeah, wait, so I also wanted to dive into, bro, like, you know, here in Cumberland County, I was reading something, you were at a commission's meeting, and you gave like a public statement during the meeting of the delegation, and you were talking about just like the dropout race and the gun violence in the county. You know, it's just an ongoing issue. Like, what are some of the ways you think we can combat that as a collective?
Man, we gotta change. One, get these. What we're doing now is getting the kids into college, and that's going to change a lot, right there. But you know, most of these kids is out here in the streets because they ain't got no jobs. You know what I mean? They ain't got no way to support themselves. Their mom, you know what I mean? They ain't got no, not their mom, but their family. I mean, a lot of them, they lean on their parents lean on them to bring food into the house or bring some money into the house because they out here hustling and stuff. Got us another little one that says it's little like you, right? Yeah. So you know what I mean? If we could get, you know what I mean? If we could start getting jobs around here, I know it's even hard around here to get jobs for older people. But we get jobs around here for these youth. We get these youth working and keep them off the street and keep their mind active on something positive. You know what I mean? That's going to change a lot right there. You know, like I said, they only looking for ways so they can have the nice Jordans. You know what I mean? They can have the nice clothes in school. They could go to Wawa, get them something to eat without having to steal, rob, steal, or kill for it. But when they get put in that situation where, you know what I mean, their little brother, little sister needs something to eat, or they need to eat, they're gonna do what they gotta do. So, you know, I think that's one of the ways. Another way we get more stuff for them around here to do. Keep them active. We don't got no community center in Millville. We got things from places for them to go, but you know, we got the Holly City Family Center, but they need, it costs money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where they gonna get money from? You know what I mean? We just gotta figure out how we could get some more activities for them to keep them off the streets and get some jobs for them. Shout out to Tim over there at Workforce Development, because he's putting together a youth program where he's getting kids jobs. I mean, kind of like JTPA, but the only problem is it's temporary jobs. They'll work
Summer?
they'll work for 6 weeks, and then you know what I mean, and they pay they'll pay an employer wages for that youth, so the employer doesn't have to pay them.
Nice.
So yeah.
Nice. Do you see that it's a little resistance when it comes to programming that's academic based as opposed to sports? I see that as a bigger turnout for sports versus programming that's, you know, if we're saying mentoring, but it's centered on academics.
I don't. Nah, because there's programs out there. You know, they had the Link program that was school-based program, right?
Yeah.
All right, but they're taking that out of school. But NJ4S, you know what I mean?
Was that a funding issue?
I don't know why.
Okay.
I don't know why. You know what I mean? It probably was because I know a couple years.
Got a little action.
Yeah, a couple years.
I like them to run with it.
Couple years, you know what I mean? They was always fighting for their funding. So, but NJ4S, they're it's a new program with Ascenda and Gateway, and I think another nonprofit together.
Yeah.
They're really doing big things and getting really active. So shout out to Nicole Hall because she's one of our big sponsors, and she works for NJ4S, and she's the director over there, and she sponsored our Fourth Fridays events this year. So again, shout out to Nicole Hall.
Yes, sir. Yes.
NJ4S.
Yes, sir. And speaking of which, the Fourth Fridays, talk a little bit about it. Like, what's your overall mission or goal hosting Fourth Fridays?
Man, just give the kids something that that don't have the opportunity to go to Wildwood or you know what I mean, or go on vacation in the summer. Give them an opportunity to have something to do during the summer. Make their summer more memorable for them. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? That's why we get
Nice purse.
nice little purse.
He eat me up
Quan,
out here.
You better catch up, Quan.
I gotta catch up. He eat me up out here.
I bought my lucky charm with me, my little putt putt.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know what I mean, just to get the families, you know what I mean, it's a lot of families out here that don't have it again, that don't have the means to go places and do things. So they take full advantage and they have a good time. Everybody has a good time when they come out to Fourth Friday. I don't care who you are.
Yes,
You're
sir.
gonna have a good time out for Friday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I could attest. Brought my family out, and it was just a cool vibe. I got little kids, older kids, and it was something for everybody to do. Music playing, live DJ, live bands, DJ. They had face painting.
Get back. Yeah.
Face painting.
Bouncy activities.
Yes, sir.
Face painting.
Ice cream man out there.
Ice cream. And this Friday, May 23rd, Memorial Day weekend Friday, we're gonna have Sturdy Youngin.
Sturdy
I'm
Youngin.
an old head, yeah, I'm a young sturdy. You get that the sturdy youngin, yeah.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna have him out there for the youth and stuff. And that was one of my main things is let's go out here, raise this money, do whatever resources we got. Let's use it to give our youth the best. You know what I mean? No hose bars. We give them whatever money we raise is going right back into our community and into our youth. We're going to give y'all the best out there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Y'all deserve it. Don't let nobody tell y'all don't.
Yes, sir. And what I can say is it was just cool to see people from all walks of life, like to see the older people out there trying to cut a rug, to see the youngins out there, to see white, black, Hispanic coming out there, and people that's, you know, into politics, into business, and just, you know, regular everyday people. It's definitely a good thing, you know, and I think we need more of it. So wait, did you ever think about expanding that, or increasing that type of activity, like, you know, going from like A4 Friday to maybe twice or three times a month?
Yeah, there's always been talks about doing that, but again, with funding and stuff, we only do so much and stuff, and with grassroots, you know what I mean, we go out, I go out, raise the money. You know, the city of Millville, big shout out to Samantha Cruz. She gave us the opportunity to do this, and without her, you know what I mean, I doubt if it would even happen. So, you know what I mean, and she comes up with some grant money. We was blessed last year to get some grant money through Inspire, and so, you know what I mean, we're able to keep it going this year. Unfortunately, we didn't get that grant money this year. So, but it's a lot of good nonprofits out there that did benefit from that, like yours, right?
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes,
you know
sir.
what I mean, things are still going on in Millville. So,
Right. So, yeah, I wanted to talk about that, like, to backtrack a little bit. When being in Millville and knowing that it's, I would consider, oh, another person. I don't know. Hey, we using the same bait.
you gotta rub it on your feet before you put it on.
Yeah,
Telling y'all my secrets.
He's having a field day out here. But yeah, a little bit more about Millville. Wade, in the past, it was like a predominantly white town. I would say that it's half white and half minority now. Do you believe? Because some people think that race relations, you know, are not where they need to be out here. You know, they obviously feel like racism still exists, and it does. But I don't think it's as problematic as it has been or as it was in the past. What's your take on that? And the city of
Of course, it
Millville.
ain't problematic as it was. But people ain't getting lynched, and we ain't gotta go to the back of the bus no more. But
Right.
Racism always gonna exist.
Right.
You know what I mean? Any way they can make money off of something, they always gonna try to keep the people divided. You know
Right.
what I mean? So, yeah. But I was born in Bridgeton. All my family's from Bridgeton. So, we came over here when I was about 3 in the 70s. I was 3-4 years old. I mean, we moved away east. So, but I remember, I mean, Ku Klux Klan coming out way east back in the day.
Yeah.
Think I'm a lie. Ask anybody that was out there back then. You know what I mean? They used to come out there. So, yeah. And it wasn't but 15, 20 years ago that they were still having Ku Klux Klan's marches down High Street in Millville. So, you know what I mean? It's definitely still here. Racism is. And I thought the same thing, you know what I mean, because I grew up in Millville, you know what I mean. When we moved out of Wade East, we moved to a house, and then we moved to the house we stayed. My mom and dad been there for the last 30, 40 years. But when we first moved on there, we was the first black family moved on there, and they didn't like that. So every day, you know what I mean, and my brother had to fight because they didn't want no niggas living on their block. And, you know, my mom and dad was at work, and every day we came home from school, got off the bus, you know, I had to put the book back down and fight.
Yeah.
While the other kids' parents sat there and watched in the window because they, you know what I mean, they felt the same way, you know what I mean. Racism is taught, it's not bred. But so, you know what I mean, we got older, stayed there, you know what I mean, and, you know, I have a lot of white friends. And so you think growing up, you know, racism died down in Millville. And as soon as I got that job at the city of Millville, I realized racism ain't died down, it just moved out.
Yeah,
Moved out.
Changed forms a little, huh?
Yeah, as soon as you take somebody's job that they don't think you deserve it, you know what I mean, you'll see the racism. So, yeah, just dealing with that in Millville, you know, I see that racism hasn't changed. But, you know what I mean, it's not what it used to be. You know what I mean? There's a lot of good people in Millville. White, black, brown. You know what I mean? They're here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I think that's just one thing that we all have to know. Like, there's good and bad people from all ethnic backgrounds, and you know, sometimes when there's people in positions of power, that's what we really call racism. Those who have the
influence.
Yeah, who can actually stop you from getting a job or moving into a certain neighborhood or getting a loan or what have you. That's what we call racist. We don't think all white people are racist.
Absolutely not.
Because it's impossible. All white people are not in positions of power. So we want to make that clear.
But we have a lot of people, a lot of white people that's in position of power that look out for us more than our own people do.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Anthony Fanucci.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. And I wanted to touch on that, bro. Like outside of like the infight and just people in general, I saw it during when we were canvassing when I was running for city commission. I would go into certain neighborhoods, and before I would even get to the porch, it's like, nah, get out of here. I don't vote. That's what they do. And I'm like, you see a black man here trying to get active or, trying to get into a position of power, and it's just, where's the support? It was sort of like, nah, what you think you're doing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was a little disheartening, but I know it because they would give us the maps and it would tell you in a certain area, it's only 12% of the overall population in those areas that even vote.
Yeah.
If you could sway the percentage to get it to like 20, you can have some impact. But outside of that, it's already written before you get there. It's only a certain amount of people
that vote.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know why they should vote. You know what I mean? And again, it's like racism. You know what I mean? Or you know what I mean? Or like say for me, black guys going to a white barbecue. Know the etiquette, know the rules. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, and so we have to learn.
Yes, sir.
We have to learn it, and the only way to learn is somebody teach us. Why should we be out there voting? You know what I mean? Why should we take the time out and go out and vote? One, we got grandmothers and grandfathers and great grandmothers and great grandfathers that fought for us, that had that right, that died for us. That's the main reason we should go out there and vote. Whether who you is red, blue, or green, you know what I mean? You should go out there and exercise that vote. It's not true what they say that, it don't matter who I vote for, they gonna put who they want in there. You don't know until you go out there and vote.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? And if you ain't voting, don't complain about who they put in there.
Yes, sir. So I think it's important too for us all to be educated on like the difference between like the city commission versus the school board, or even knowing about like our state legislators and so forth and so on. Like I think a lot of times we just don't even know the difference, bro.
We don't. And I was the same way. I didn't know the senator from an assemblyman, or the governor from the congressman. But sitting around just learning, being involved. Yes,
sir. Yes, sir. So let's shift a little bit. Let's talk about your entrepreneurial spirit, man. Running your own company. Can you give us a little let's talk about your start with getting into pest management?
That's a crazy story because I wound up doing 2 years in the feds for marijuana. It's crazy, right? Because marijuana is almost legal now.
Right.
But yeah. So when I came home, got a job at a collection agency, and I just wanted more because I had the hustler ambition. I wanted more, but I didn't want to go back to that life. So get back from here. So I was sitting and thinking by myself, what can I do? And I looked down, and there was a newspaper there, and it was an advertisement, get your pesticide license. So I looked into it and looked at now everything I needed to have, and I'm like, wow, I can't do this right now because I just don't have everything. So I went back to my job at a collection agency. God moved me out of that collection agency job, and I was unemployed. And at that time, I seen Pastor Ennis and he asked me, yo, can you come help me out with something? I was like, yeah, I can come help you out, Pastor. And I ain't doing that with my time right now. So, I went out there, helped him. He was a commissioner at the time. So, over the Parks Department, Streets and Roads, matter of fact. So he's like, yo, I'm just getting a group of guys out here to help clean up the streets.
Mm-hmm.
So, my kids was on me like that every day, waking me up. When you going to work? When you going to work? You going to work today, Dad? So, when I got the opportunity to do that, I just went out there and did it. So now my kids is looking like, Dad, you gotta get up. You gotta get up. You gotta go to work.
Yeah.
So, and I volunteered, did that. The other guys got paid. I told Pastor Ennis, I don't need no money for that. Just, I'm just passing time, looking out for my community. And he felt in his heart, God put it in his heart that he needed to do something better for me. So he got me into the city of Millville. So I started working at the water department down there for 5 years. And then I went over to the parks department. Soon I went over there, they was like, hey, we got opening for somebody to get their pesticide license. Do you want to get it? It's like, because the guys here, they don't want to get it. They said it's too hard to get it. I'm like, yeah, I get it. So I took the test, took the classes, took the test, got the pesticide license. And once I got the pesticide license, that's when God started revealing to me that, this is what I had planned for you. Took me back 7 years. 7 years when I was looking at that newspaper article. It said, see, then I put this in your face, about the pesticide license. I'm like, yeah, you did reveal that to me. He's like, look where you at now. You have your pesticide license. It's like, this is the plan I have for you. You know what I mean? So at that point, I knew I was supposed to open up a business. So, yeah. So I left the city and went to the county and got moved out of there with like in 3 or 4 months. So I already had plans of starting my business. I already had it in the works. So it was just God moving me into position for His will. You know what I mean? And everything that happened after that is just all part of God's plan for me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's dope, man. And I definitely want the kids that we're going to be doing our mentoring with to meet you, to hear your story, to see that it's possible. Because a lot of times we get focused on just sports alone, and not knowing that there's other options. There's trades. You can become your own business owner. That's a possibility.
Because the thing is that with the pesticide, these kids could come out of school working as a pest control operator, pest control technician, making 60, 70, 80,000 a year. You know what I mean? They could, in 5 years, they could be running their own business. You know what I mean? Making whatever they want to make. Depends on how hard they want to hustle, how hard, they want to get out there and work. These kids could come out and be straight.
Yes, sir.
And it's a lot of jobs like that out here. Right now, you got the prisons. They starting off $70,000, and and right out of high school. I wish I had that opportunity and stuff. There's grown-ups out here not only making $30,000, $35,000, and that ain't even enough to survive on. You can't even pay a mortgage with that yearly.
Yeah, definitely. And that early exposure, it opens up the mind. It helps kids understand that there's a possibility, especially to see somebody, of a darker hue to be in a position of ownership. It's lacking, and I just want to encourage the greater community to let's start making like that more trendy, business ownership, being in positions of power. If it's politics, if it's being on a school board, if it's being in executive or administrative positions in schools, or whatever, we need to make that more trendy in our community.
Absolutely, 100%. My kids go to 95% all-white school with 100% all-white teacher race. Yeah. So they're looking at like what is there any black teachers out there?
Right.
We do need to make that trendy. We do need to let these kids see that they could be whatever they want to be. We got black attorneys, black judges, black prosecutors, black doctors out here.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Y'all could be whatever y'all want.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's important. Let's talk about your kids going to a predominantly white school with predominantly white teachers. Has that been a challenge for you?
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah. Excuse me, I gotta get him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's always gonna be a challenge, you know what I mean? Especially dealing, I mean, when it comes back to race. For example, you know, that kids don't, again, racism is taught. It's not bred. So these kids, they come to school, they treat people how they see their parents treat people. What they say, what they hear other people in their household say. So, you know what I mean, when it comes time to go to school, I mean, them kids feel real comfortable saying anything they want about black people. But I teach my kids, you know what I mean, like, you have a voice, you know what I mean, you stand up for yourself, never, you don't never let nobody put their hands on you. But, you know what I mean, you go through the proper channels first.
Yes, sir.
So, but it's been a couple times, man.
Fishing circles around me.
A couple times.
You got the mojo. Look how big these perch are.
A couple times I had to go to have meetings at the school, and it turned out that I wound up being the unofficial black advocate for black problems at that school.
Right,
when there was a problem, you know what I mean, they would call me, can you talk to this parent or this person, or yeah, you know what I mean? I'm like, absolutely, because when I had a problem, y'all absolutely is 100% behind correcting the problem and did everything y'all can. So yeah, I will. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So all right, let's talk fatherhood, man. Raising children, man. Tell me, you know, the good, the highs and the lows, the good and the bads, man, with fathering, being a father. In today's time, anyway.
Like I said, I got all girls, so from 24 down to 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, what do you want to know?
I mean, well, that's, you know, they range in ages, right? You have one that's over 25, right?
20, yeah, she'll be 25 this year. Yeah.
25, yeah. We have kids similar in age. I don't have one as young as the little lady to our left. But you know, just dealing with the different age ranges, man. You know, preparing them for life. Obviously, education is important, but you know, it's tough out here too with having young ladies and trying to prepare them to deal with, you know, this harsh world out here, man. You know.
Listen, man. Like I said before, I just put everything in God's hands. You know what I mean? I've been through it with not having God involved, and it was a stressful road.
Yes, sir.
So, you know what I mean? I just put everything in God's hands and always pray and meditate before I make an action and move, because I'm dealing with young ladies. They're sensitive. You know what I mean? It's a lot. And each one is different.
Yes, sir.
You better get out there and get some of that fish.
I know, bro.
Man, I'm filling up the cooler on.
Well, the river's been a good host for Wade.
And you want to take this one off?
Yeah, he got his little princess out here, and I think that's dope, man. It's always
That's my
cool.
good luck charm.
What's her name?
Jaylani.
Jaylani?
Jaylani.
Hi, Jaylani. Yeah, so, yeah, man, just, you know, that position as a father, man, is a beautiful thing, bro. It's definitely tough, especially because we don't have all the answers, you know.
I think father is just not it's teaching your kids, but it's more of a learning experience for you, for us as dads. It teaches us a lot: patience, humility, and love. Because you ain't gonna love nobody like you love your kids.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I often think about it. It's like my relationship with God. You know how God has to be patient with me. Well, He is patient with me, forgiving. He doesn't change. He lays down law, and it's just on me to get in line. You know, but God has a perfect way in the will, And it's just on us, you know, it's on us to get in line with his will to make things better. So I see that often in my home. I was my son, you know, I had to get on him or whatever. I'm like, bro, you have access to a lot of stuff, but as soon as you violate, I have to demonstrate. You know what I mean? I just take stuff from you, you know. But I often think about my relationship with God too, because God is long suffering, and sometimes, you know. Yeah. Yeah. So God is very graceful. You know what I mean? Sometimes we always don't get the punishment that we deserve. You know.
That
So
one's a big one.
I try
It's a real
to
big one.
I try to keep that in mind when it comes down to laying low in my house. You know.
Small.
Yeah. Yeah, because the first thing, the first law he gave us was the love, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was the first law. So, you know what I mean. And we're gonna love our kids, but again, laws. Just like we have laws, we have to live by on the streets, and in our spiritual life, they have laws they have to live by in our house.
Yes, sir.
So if they're not abiding by the laws, then I'm gonna have to break that one law, that first law for myself for a second, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna love you. My mom and dad always like, you know why I'm beating you, right? Because I love you.
'Cause I love you.
Nah, don't pull that. Nah, I messed up. Now I'm old enough to realize I messed up.
Yes, sir.
But you was trying to point me in the right direction. That was that love.
A little
They're
push.
trying to point me in that right direction.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Gotta love it though.
absolutely.
So you're a grandfather too, correct?
Yeah, man. I got 2 boys, 2 grandsons. I ain't got no sons, but I got 2 grandsons.
There you go.
And about to have a 3rd grandson.
Nice.
It is nice. It is great.
Yes. Extending that family.
That family tree.
Mm-hmm.
That family legacy. Yeah, her first one, she was young, 18 years old. 17 when she got pregnant, 18 when she had him. And you know, when I first heard about it, it was, you know, because we all had plans for our kids and stuff. But like God said, your plans is not my plans, so how can I be mad at her?
Right.
You know what I mean? And anytime you bring a baby into the earth, you know what I mean, it's great. It's a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Life is beautiful. It took me a long time to figure that out because growing up, we hard-headed, we want to run the streets, we know everything. But just getting older and being that father and being that grandfather and going through our life experiences, we realize how beautiful life is. Like moments like these.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I think it's tough navigating that too, bro. I was also a teen parent. And, you know, looking back, I'll be honest, I wasn't fit to be a father. I didn't have a stable job. You know what I mean? I wasn't as mature or I wasn't stable at all. I didn't have a home or whatever, you know what I mean, as far as my relationship. So it just made life more challenging. So I think when we experience that ourselves, we don't want the cycle to be repeated. And it's kind of hard to navigate that when it's like, I love the child, but I mean, I like the situation. You know what I mean? And that's all it really is, because they're balls of joy, man, and they do bring love back. They could restore love into a family, you know?
Mm-hmm.
New life can restore love into a family, so I definitely get it, you know? Yeah, so that's...
Ooh, these bugs getting bad out here.
Yeah,
Woo!
bro.
Woo!
Yo, bro, I kept hitting the brim, but I'm like, yo, they eating me through the glass, bro.
I'm gonna need some windshield wipers out here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Speaking of which, so we talking fishing, man. The Father's Day trip.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Talk about that, man.
I think we going on like our 6th year doing that Father's Day trip. We go out Friday before Father's Day, a bunch of men, and just have a good time on the boat, catching some fish, talking, laughing, joking, and you know, enjoying each other's time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's a really good thing. You know what I mean? we always put a bet to see who's gonna be the first one to go ahead and throw up. There's always gonna be somebody going
Yes,
down.
sir.
Somebody
Yes,
going
sir.
down.
Yes, sir.
One year we
Yeah.
went out. I don't think you was on that trip.
I saw your uncle. Was it your uncle?
And nah, that was that was on
That was funny. With
that was my man's dad.
You got
The one that was taking all long to get to the boat.
hook release. Nice boy right there. Okay, keep him. Those over there. No. Might be in the back. Let me check. Oh, it's in the back, bro. Yeah. So, it's cool. It's cool to see Wade and his family members on the boat, man. To connect with them,
Friends, family.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like 4 or 5 of them seasick. And they was in there throwing up and everything. They couldn't even fish no more. We had one dude, my uncle. I'm like, yeah. His wife named Pat. I'm like, Skeeter, you better get out here and catch some fish. Pat gonna be thinking you out doing something else.
Right.
And Skeeter was like, go ahead, throw that fish in there. Pat just gonna have to think what she wanna think because I ain't catching no fish today.
Yeah, the water can get a little harsh out there, bro.
Yeah, horse out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what I mean?
Last-
we maintain.
Yeah, last year was dope. Wade had connected us with it was a female captain. Yeah, she had her 16-year-old. He was out there controlling the boat. This youngin was. Yeah, I think
he thought he was on a jet ski or something.
Yeah, but it was cool. It was a good time, man. But black sea bass. My grandmother loves black sea bass, so my grandfather's no longer here with us, and it's cool that I have an opportunity to continue that tradition through connecting with y'all.
Yeah, that's what it's about, and this is what we need to do for our younger kids too. You know what I mean? Give them that same opportunity that your experience, because your grandfather is not here. You know what I mean? Their father might not be here, their uncle might not be here, or they might be here and just not into that.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? And they might want to go out and stuff. So that's what we need to do, put together a trip for the youth and for the men, a mentor trip.
Yes, sir. Be on the lookout for that. You heard it here first. Wade Loatman. Yeah, that's even for as like a rites of passage, man. It's a lot of grown men who don't know how to handle a fish. They may catch a fish. They be on this dock kicking the fish around. They just need to learn. They just need to learn, bro. There we go.
Huh? All right, we gonna go home and look.
I think that's the honey hole over there, huh?
Yeah.
Wade done put us on the honey hole.
Call them over there. Oh, that's a nice one. She might be a little striper.
She got a little weight to her waist.
Yeah, that's a nice one. Okay, Quans.
Yeah, there we go. I'm on board.
It ain't about quantity, it's about quality. It ain't about quantity, it's about quality.
Quality. So Wade, I do want to talk about that too, man. What I do appreciate about Wade is a straight shooter. Wade don't mind having an uncomfortable conversation. I will say that he is open to hearing other people's opinion. But when something's need to be said, he doesn't hesitate, you know what I mean, to speak his mind or whatever. Where does that come from, Wade?
Yeah, that come from my grandma.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? It's no nonsense. You know what I mean? She taught us to say what's on your mind, and you know what I mean. Somebody do something to you pick up a brick and you bust them in the head. So that's the type of stuff. That's how I was raised. You know what I mean? If you know you right, you know what I mean. Stand up for what's right.
So yeah, and even too and then if it's something that needs to be said, I think that's what's hard these days. When we say we're not into street business, we're doing community activism, or we're just out here trying to be good stewards, just good people, and we're trying to collaborate with others. Sometimes it's just necessary to have the uncomfortable conversation, or you know what I mean, to address the elephant in the room, you know?
Yeah, well, it separates you from the real and the fake too, because the fake can't handle the real, so they'll get out the room real fast.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? They'll get out your way, and they'll stay out your way. You know what I mean? And then you know what I mean, the ones that are able to handle them uncomfortable conversations, that's the ones you want to beat down, do business with anyway. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. I actually appreciate it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It might cut a little bit, it might sting the ego, but you know, sometimes those conversations don't need to be had. Just so we get on the same page.
Because I grew up. I could draw. I'm a good artist, right? So I went to art school, and you know what I mean. One thing about art, you always gonna have critics, and criticism don't mean that you're doing something bad. It just shows you that there's room for improvement.
There we go.
You know what I mean? But every critic doesn't mean you have to approve on everything everybody says.
Mm-hmm. And then too, yeah, just have a tough skin, man. Sometimes it's just good to have tough skin, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. That's not what I wanted.
I know, we're about to leave. You want to go sit in the car?
I know we got some more fishing to do, but I did want to.
You want to go get your jacket? Put your hood on. Go get your jacket. Let me go get a jacket.
Yes, sir.
You ain't got no bug spray, do you?
Nah, I ain't got no cutter or nothing. Yeah, it's real out here.
Come on, keep on reeling.
Uh-uh.
Come on, reel it. Don't let it get away. You gotta reel it fast, because it's gonna get stuck over there. Look. Reel it. Keep on reeling. Come on. The bugs is getting you. Come on. Lift it up. Oh, we stuck on.
There we go.
Now you gotta don't run. You gotta take it off now.
She's like, out of here. She said, she out of there. Woo. Jeez, brother. That's how the river is going. They be like, you gonna earn this. Like, this ain't hood fishing. This is good old country fishing. You dig? Yeah, so wait, what's next, man? What's next, bro? Like, you know, we going into the summer. You know, it's a lot of opportunities for people to get involved and active. Just talk about ways people can suggest some ways that people can get active as far as
just get out, community. Just ask. You know what I mean? You want to do something. The opportunity is there for you to do something. First step is just getting up and just getting involved. You know what I mean? Just making itself known that you want to do something. You know what I mean? Because God will open the doors, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There's plenty of like community organizations. There's churches. Again, there's politics, not only in the school but the city commission.
And if you want to start your own business, just holler at me. You know what I mean? I'll show you. You know what I mean? I'll show you how to do it. You know what I mean? If you want to start a nonprofit. I mean, holla at Quan. He did it. He knows how to do it. I think your wife have a business starting up businesses or starting up nonprofits. I believe.
She sell houses.
She sell houses now.
Yeah,
I know y'all was doing the credit thing too.
Yeah. Active. Trying to say active. Yeah.
Oh, the financial portfolios. That's what it's about. Having as many financial portfolios as possible. But
Can I do it?
Yeah, go ahead. All right, we got to put some bait on there. But yeah, just get out there. You know what I mean? Whatever you want to do, you know what I mean? You have to take the first step and just pray on it, meditate on it, and ask God, is this what He has planned for you? Because if it's not in God's plan, it ain't gonna work.
Yes, sir. Ain't gonna work and it ain't gonna happen. Bottom line. You got it, bro.
Yo, my thing is, I hook them right through the back of the head, like their neck, in the back of their head.
Can't come off, huh?
They don't come off, and they give them that natural look. That's how they look in that water.
You're giving me the tricks of the trade.
Can I do it?
Get in that honey hole. Boom.
Yes, sir. Right there, dead center.
Here.
You gotta wait till the fish get on there first, then we reel it in.
Oh yeah. Wait. Can you just tell us about some of your community partners? I know you mentioned some. You gave some shout outs. Some of your community partners for Friday.
For 4th Friday, yeah.
Yeah.
So NJ Forest, you know what I mean, they've been our big sponsor, you know what I mean, this year. And last year they helped out too. You know what I mean? So, you know, appreciate them, Nicole Hall over there. And last year Spirit came through. Blaze over at American Financial, the mortgage. Who else? Again, here you go. You got a nice fish on here. Go ahead, have fun with it. Complete Care, Kurt Edwards. You know, he always look out for the community and stuff. Anything positive going on, Kurt is always willing to step up and give a hand. And again, Samantha Cruz, she's been a big blessing. You know what I mean? Just having the backing of the city of Millville to go out and do 4th Fridays. And she's been getting grant money also for us. It's not, you know what I mean? We don't have a whole lot, but we make do with what we got.
Yes, sir.
I'm itchy.
Yeah, I'm itchy too, but now we tangled up.
There you came on. There you go.
I want for the cooler.
Yes, sir. Like a red snapper. The sun hitting him. He look red a little bit.
It's that blood coming out of it. Try to swallow that hook. Where's that hook? Oh,
There's a lot of, well, it's a handful of community programs, and it seems like we're splintered. And I know it's easier said than done. It's easier said than done when people say, like, you know, we should all be working together. Could you suggest ways that that help us navigate how to come together? Not only, like, you don't have to, like, lay down your flag when it comes to supporting or collaborating with somebody else. I think a lot of people think, like, oh, if I support Wade, now I'm a part of bully pest management. Yeah, I'm a underling versus, like, nah, I just respect what he's doing, and if there's any way that I could support, why not do so? You know?
Yeah. Listen, it just gotta be. You gotta have a heart of God. I mean, first of all, know that, again, that you're doing this for the right things and it's for the community. If you're out here doing nonprofit work, you know what I mean. But you know what I mean, to each his own. As long as you're out here doing something positive and trying to make your little spot of the world better than where you found it, you know what I mean, good for you. You know what I mean? If you want to support other people, you know what I mean, we're stronger together. You know what I mean? John Fuqua always says we better together. But yeah, we stronger together, because you could go in a fight and you could go in there poking with one finger, right? You're not going to do much damage. But if you take 5 fingers and ball it up, now you're able to knock something out, right?
Yes, sir.
So that's how we have to look when we're out here trying to do community work. If we all come together, we could really start knocking things out.
Yes, sir. Sir, that's definitely important, man. You know, and then too, like, you know, when it's something that you don't want to support, just let it be known. You know,
because it's time Quan had to stand on what he believed in, and he was like, nah, bro, I can't support that. And he's like, because that's not what I believe in. You know, that goes against my beliefs or what I stand on. And I'm like, you know what? I respect that. I respect that from you and stuff, because one, you were straight up about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? 2, you have morals and honors and stuff. So, you know what I mean? You gotta respect the man that has morals.
True. Yeah, and it don't mean because we don't agree, now we enemies. Like, nah, it's just one thing that, you know, it may not line up with what I got going on or, you know, what I stand on. But there's plenty of things, you know, especially that are neutral when it comes to, you know, entertaining the kids or things that are educational, that can inspire them to strive for higher. Those are the things that I'm more inclined to support, and then there's some things that I'm not, but it's all good or whatever. And I appreciate that he didn't take it as like an act of war, you know what I mean? When it was something I may not have agreed to support,
Nah, that's just being, humble. Just knowing that, if somebody believes in something, you can't be offended by their beliefs.
Right.
You just got, respect that and know that it wasn't done in a malicious attempt to ruin what you were doing, because we have people out here that would do something like that. Knowing you having something on an event on a certain date, they would set something up on the same date just so, their crew won't come out there.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Yep. Just having true intentions. True intentions.
A pure heart.
Yes, sir. Ooh.
You need to jump on my hook.
Yeah. He ready. He ready to be caught. So Wade, in closing, man, can you just leave some of our younger listeners out there with some words of encouragement?
And listen, just whatever you choose to do in life, give it your all, stay positive, stay focused, and don't make money that your intended things, because they say money is the root of all evil, it is, but we can't live without money. So,
The love, the love of money, yes, sir.
Go out there, do what you love in life. Again, stay positive. If you have somebody that you can sit under and learn from, just sit back and listen and stuff. Because, if somebody's trying to put you on a game or put you on to something, it's because they care about you and they want to see you do better, and they've been down that road and they don't want you to run into the roadblocks that they run into. But again, y'all young, y'all gonna have to learn a lot of things from experience like we learn. But at the same time, just take heed to some of the stuff that we say, and don't think that we're coming down on you. We're trying to just uplift you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, bro. I appreciate you coming out on this beautiful day to fish and have a chop-up session. Brought your little lady out, man.
This is what God, this was all God's will right here. We planned this, a couple days ago, and it was raining earlier.
Yes, sir.
It was raining, 10 minutes before we even came out here.
Yes, sir.
And now, look, we got the sun shining on us, That's all God right there.
Yes, sir.
It's a beautiful thing. You might have to turn around and let them get a view of that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely had a great chop-up session with my bro. Appreciate you taking time out, man. And in closing, I want everybody, remember to keep your eyes on the sky and your purpose on the ground. This is episode 2 with my man Wade Loatman. We out.